having a just cause is a huge superpower when starting a business and when starting any project. Like, it's just so critical to know why you're doing what you're doing and to know what it is that you're doing in the first place. And so for us to have this clear mission of, encourage and manage the charitable giving of digital assets, period, right? Like, that's such a broad landscape to play with, but also a very, very specific motivation for everything that we do. And I think, especially when the market's, tanking and the bear is upon us, and it can be really kind of sad to open up your computer every day and just be like, man, like, my investments aren't doing well, or this industry is being brought into question about whether it should exist or not. EnDAOment is this gravitational force for why crypto should exist. And the number always goes up because we're only ever counting the donations that people make, and it only ever, you can't take away a charitable donation. And so I think, like, there's this very calming reality about the work that we're doing, where it doesn't so much matter what the market is doing. And we can talk a little bit about what that looks like from, like, a statistics perspective. Like, we've raised $5 million already in August. It's
that's awesome, man.
We raised $200,000 or something like that in August of last year. Right? Like, bear market be damned. Like, people want to make an impact with this capital that they've got. And oftentimes they've had it for a long time. They're early entrants. They've held this crypto for years, and they bought it at cents. And now they're taking it and they're like, okay, I know I have a tax obligation and I want to offset it. And how can I do that in a way that's crypto native? How can I do that in a way that's tax smart? How can I do that in a way that helps bring nonprofits into the new technology space without scaring them away, without them being 10 years late to the party? And I really think all of those things are the main motivations for us in building EnDAOment. And the success that we're seeing is a result of really taking the time at the front end to come up with clear answers to what are we doing, why are we doing it, and what are the things that we're not willing to compromise on in pursuing that goal. And it's been really cool to, like, we're 2 years into this journey now at this point, and the first 2 years were not exactly like hit the ground fast paced like some of these other DeFi protocols or some of these other NFT platforms. It's kind of many years to make an overnight success, and so you spend a lot of time worrying about the setup, right? Like getting the legal entities sorted out, right? Getting the technology built in a way where it's going to build that flywheel, and that we're going to see the sort of reverberation and community participation that results in a vibrant, well-resourced, fully functional, competitive community foundation built specifically for the crypto industry. And we're just starting to get to that point, like, we're just starting to get to the full-throated vision of what EnDAOment should be now 2 years in. But because we have those strong values in that, like, set induction of what this should look like from the very beginning, we're sort of reaping the dividends of that now later on in our sort of startup journey. And just like, can't wait for what's to come for EnDAOment. And, like, we're just going to keep doubling down on these values and on this, what and why we're doing.